What's going on, investors? In this video, we're going to talk about how construction loans work. Hey guys, my name is Sean, and on this channel, we go over real estate investing tips, strategies, and current events to help you become an investing boss. Now, as many of you guys know, I am a hard money lender based here in the Bay Area. And when people call me to ask about getting a hard money loan, they always have the question, how do construction loans work? So in this video, I'm gonna tell you guys how construction loans work and how you use them to fund your rehab projects. So let's imagine you're a brand new investor and you have this opportunity of a lifetime. You've been given this off-market fixer property that you can rehab and bring back to its true potential and hopefully put on the market and make a lot of money. But the thing is, you're maybe limited on funds. And so that's why you would go to a hard money lender in the first place, because hard money lenders like ourselves can help you fund these projects even though you normally couldn't get the same loan with the bank. So most people understand how hard money loans work in terms of the purchase price. We tell them that we can fund up to 80% of the purchase price and 80% of the rehab loan. So they think, okay, I'm gonna put 20% down for the purchase price, and then the hard money lender is gonna put down 80%. But where does the 80% rehab loan come from? Let's assume that you're buying a property that's worth $1 million and you're getting 80% of that for purchase price. So that means that we would come in as a lender for $800,000 and you would need $200,000 for the purchase price. But let's say to renovate this whole property, it's gonna cost you $100,000. So the question is the lender just gonna give me $80,000 to let me do whatever I want? And the short answer is no. No lender's just gonna give you $80,000 for you to just do whatever you want with it, right? Lenders are very protective of their money and they wanna make sure that the funds get put in the right place. I mean, after all, if we just gave you $80,000, you could just go to Vegas and gamble it all away. And now, us as a lender would have this crappy project with none of our funds into it, right? And so the way it works, it actually gets repaid through a draw process. So before we get into the draw process, let's talk about how you would even get a construction loan. So let's say you call me and say, hey Sean, I found this really interesting property. I want to put an offer on it. Here is the purchase price. Here's the rehab budget. Here's how much we think it's going to sell for after it's done. I say, cool, what kind of loan do you want? You tell me, oh, I want a loan for the purchase price and I also want a rehab loan. And I'll ask you, okay, how much do you want? Sometimes they want 50%, sometimes they want 80%, sometimes they want 100%. It really depends on what you want and we price you according to your needs. Now let's just say for this example that your rehab budget ended up being $100,000 and we're gonna be funding $80,000 of that budget. So before we even start on your loan, I'm gonna send you this template with a scope of work. And on that scope of work, you would have your contractor list down line by line what each item would cost and the different things that you're gonna do to this property. Then we would send it to our feasibility study team. The feasibility study does make your processing fee a little bit more expensive, but it enables you to get this leverage, so it could be worth it for you. What the feasibility study does is they will look at that scope of work that your contractor wrote for you, and they're gonna look line by line if your contractor knows what they're talking about or if they're just writing some crazy numbers, right? Your contractor can either write numbers that are way too high or they can write numbers that are way too low. Either way is not good, but after the feasibility study is done, we'll give you feedback saying, okay, these numbers look appropriate, we approve of your budget, let's continue. When we finally close on the property, our 80% of your purchase price will be sent to escrow and then you close on the property. So congrats, you bought the home. But now we have this rehab budget of $80,000 that we're holding on for you. We're not releasing it to you just yet because we don't want you to spend it wherever you want, but we're holding it in reserve for you. And so because of that, we're actually gonna start charging you interest on the construction budget from day one. So that's one thing that you need to keep aware of. The construction loan, while it's nice, it does add some costs, like the feasibility study cost, and you're also paying money for the interest on the money that isn't even released to you yet. So we're holding it for you, you're paying interest on it. Now you might be wondering, okay, cool, I have this budget here of $80,000. How do I actually access it? Do I get it before I start doing work? Do I have to do the work first? And so the quick answer is it depends. For the most part, I would say 90% of the time, the way it works is through a reimbursement/draw process. So let's say during that scope of work, you kind of broke down the different things that you're gonna do. Let's say you break up your job into 4 different phases. Phase 1 is we're gonna do demolition of the whole property and then maybe put up some new drywall. Phase 2, maybe put up some cabinets in the kitchen or maybe do some bathroom work. And then phase 3, button things up, appliances, blah, blah, blah. So you break up your own scope of work job into the different phases based on how you want to get repaid. And so basically after each phase, that's when you request for a draw from us. So before you even get any money, you do have to front that money for the first phase. So for demo and for putting up drywall, you as the borrower would have to pay for that money, right? You'd have to buy the materials first, you'd have to pay for your contractors first, and then once that's all done, that's when you call us and say, hey, we're done with phase 1, come check out our work and give us back our money. So then we would send an inspector over to your job. They would take photos of everything that you did. They would kind of look at your scope of work and see that you basically did the work that you said you were gonna do. And if it's all approved, our team will review the pictures. They're gonna look at all the invoices you made. They're going to see that you have got the permits. They're going to see that you have all the inspections done from the city. Once that's approved, then we release those funds back to your account. We're gonna wire it directly back to you. And if you're getting an 80% loan, what we're gonna do is we're gonna wire you back 80 cents on the dollar of everything you spent so far. So let's say phase one cost you $20,000 and we approve of everything, then we would wire you back $16,000 back to your account. And we're gonna just keep doing that throughout the entire phase. Now, some people might be wondering, like, why would I even bother getting a construction loan if I have to put the money anyway? Well, the thing is, you only have to put the money for the first phase. And the thought process is you put the money for the first phase, then you get reimbursed for a portion of the first phase that you can use on to the next phase and the next phase, etc. So overall, even though yes, you are fronting up some money, at the end of the day, when your project is all done, you didn't put 100 grand into this project, you only put in 20 grand into this project. So now you have 80 grand that you can do something else with. Another thing to note is that every time we do send a person over to do a draw, we do charge $265. Now that's as of this recording. Numbers may change all the time, but there is a fee associated with the draw process. It's not free to just have an inspector go and take pictures, right? It's not free to just look and review and check all of your documentation. So there's a small fee associated with the draw process. This is typically how it's done for every construction loan. Now, of course, there are different variations, and I think that's where you can negotiate with your lender. So for example, there's like money in first or money last. Sometimes instead of paying you back 80 cents on the dollar, we might ask you to just front the first 20,000 and then we'll pay for the next 80,000, right? That's less risky for a lender. Or sometimes it's lender's money in first, where the lender pays 80% and then it's up to you to finish the job at 20%. That does not happen very often, but I guess it is an option for you guys out there. So to break it down, the key takeaway is if you guys need a construction loan, definitely talk to your lender first to see what kind of leverage and what kind of schedule you guys are looking for. Just note that usually with a construction loan, there are extra fees like the feasibility study of $650. There's also the draw fee of $265 every time you request your money. And of course, there's also the interest on the unpaid principal. So that means that even though you didn't get that $80,000 on day one, we are gonna charge you the interest on the $80,000 on day one. Also, with a construction loan, you're gonna need to have that full scope of work. We're gonna wanna see invoices. So in my personal opinion, if you don't really need a construction loan, it's a lot easier and cheaper to just not use it. But if you like the leverage, if you wanna be able to do more projects at the same time, then yeah, a construction loan is there to help you guys out. So hopefully this video was helpful for you and everything was pretty clear. If you guys have any more questions about construction loans, feel free to let me know down in the comment section below. And as always, if you guys are looking for a hard money loan, feel free to reach out. You can find my contact information down in the description as well. And if you guys have enjoyed this video, do me a quick favor and just smash the like button to let YouTube know that you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.